You guys remember how Trump used to say that crypto was a scam?
Bitcoin, I just seems like a scam. I don't like it because it's another currency competing against the dollar.
Remember that Trump's whole principle has always been about control, and you dominate what you can control. For example, the US dollar, the central banks, the media cycles, the political parties. Crypto, on the other hand, is decentralized. So he framed it as a danger to stability, a haven for criminals, and a speculative bubble. But is that actually true? Is crypto a scam? Or perhaps a well guarded secret to massive riches? Let's actually start from the beginning and let me explain. We'll call this stage 1. In a way, he was actually right. In early chaotic days, it was a threat to the systems that he understood. But here is what actually changed: his own balance sheet. The moment Trump and his brand dove into NFTs and started courting crypto payments, the asset class stopped being an abstract threat to the US dollar. Instead, it became a personal asset on his ledger. Overnight, the public incentive to protect the US dollar and the private incentive of pump my portfolio, those two things violently swapped places. His principle didn't change. What did change was the profitable target. And this is where stage 2 kicks in. It's a power grab. Trump didn't suddenly have a change of heart, it was the rollout of a new campaign. The old goal was to define crypto out of the system. The new goal became to dominate the system that was currently being built. So the messaging became urgent and patriotic. If America doesn't lead in crypto, China will. It's actually a master stroke of reframing, transforming a personal profit opportunity into a matter of national security. And this is how the three incentives lock in. His portfolio needs the asset class to rise. His political base has a powerful, loud vanguard, which is the online, younger, and anti establishment influencers who set the narrative for the broader movement. These guys are already deep in crypto, and what they do is they demand a crypto king. And capturing this vanguard ensures his message dominates the digital commons and pulls the rest of the base along, framing opposition as behind the times. Meanwhile, the geopolitical stage provides the perfect elite cover story for this pitch. It's no longer about a decentralized threat. It's about America controlling the next frontier of finance. But the crypto push doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's actually the most volatile component of a much larger financial strategy. And to understand the endgame, you have to see the whole picture. The US is carrying a staggering national debt. That's not a secret to anyone. And rivals like China and the BRICS bloc, they're all actively building systems in order to bypass the US dollar. In this light, crypto stops being a speculative toy sword and starts looking like a strategic asset. And this is where the narrative completes its full transformation. What was publicly dismissed as a threat to stability is now being recast as the key to sovereignty. This pivot is a very classic maneuver, aligning a deeply personal financial incentive with national strategy. The potential for wealth creation is extremely, extremely massive. And the digital asset space is still young enough for early movers to shape its trajectory, especially those with power and with money. And this is what opens the door to the dual narrative that we are now seeing: a public push for crypto adoption that just so happens to massively inflate the value of private holdings. Now, here's a critical final piece that they don't want you to connect. This isn't just about crypto, it's about what fuels it. Think about what Trump's real wealth is actually built on: buildings, real estate. And what does real estate absolutely love? Cheap debt and low interest rates. So the real end game isn't just about being pro crypto, it's actually a full spectrum to control the price of money itself, to pressure the Fed until it's flooding the system with near zero interest rates. And that's the second engine on this rocket. The goal is very, very simple: is to push pro crypto rules to make it legitimate. pulling in trillions of institutional capital, push pro-inflation monetary policies that flood the world with that cheap cash, chasing those same assets. And the result that you get is a synthetic wealth boom. Stocks, real estate, and of course, the most volatile asset of them all, crypto, just moons, all by design. And as I always say, this design has a bill. The bill is a split screen economy. Your investment account balance shoots up, but your grocery bill, your rent, your insurance premium, all those things climb right alongside of it, basically funneling money from the non-asset holders to the asset holders. So I'm going to give you this task right now, is not to debate the morality of this playbook, but instead to read the incentives, to see the predictable outcomes, and to position yourself, but not for greed, just for basic financial survival. This story is just beginning, but the direction that it's heading in is very, very clear. The transformation from scam to strategic asset is just about complete, and it's changing the game for everyone. I want to thank you for spending this time with me.